Tell me one of your food memories, because I'd love to know that. You asked me three.
I asked you three, one of my food memories, and I want to give you one that resonates with you, that you can connect with. When I had finished high school and I was a baby gay, and my partner and I, my then partner at the time, I'd just come back from living overseas, and we lived in a small bedsit, and I was studying at cooking school. What was it?
TAFE.
TAFE. I was cooking at TAFE at the East Sydney College there.
Yep.
And I was working for a catering company called Just New under Norma Willis. And Neil's rock pool book had just come out. And there were 2 recipes in there that were quite inspiring for me. And I remember cooking one and saving enough money to go to the other. And it was, he wrote a recipe for cooking risotto for 500 people that he'd served on the Harbour Bridge. Do you remember this?
I cooked it. Yeah. I was part of the team.
The bridge was shut down, and
it was actually on Anzac Bridge.
Anzac Bridge.
Yeah.
Was it the opening of the bridge?
It was the opening of Anzac Bridge, and it was for the people that built it, all the workers.
That built the bridge, and the quantities were absurd.
It was absurd.
So it was it was a story more than it was a recipe. Yeah. And I remember trying to break it down and cooking it for the 2 of us, and it was a hot mess, because obviously when you extrapolate a dish like that, it's very, very different. But the next food memory that came from his book was the white cooked chicken.
Yes, absolutely. Is that the one with the truffles?
No, it wasn't the one with
the white cut chicken.
Yeah, with that. And he discovered it with his father.
Yep. His father was mad about food, particularly Asian food. And because he had close Asian friends.
Yeah. And they would go there and they would have this white cut chook.
Yeah.
And I remember just having enough money and going to do that. And then the rest of the recipes were complex, but they told a story of a man who had lived food.
Exactly. That was such a beautiful book. And it was a pleasure to be there when he wrote that book. Like, I know all of those recipes intimately. I was part of, I remember Patrina Tinsley shooting it. And I remember sending the food upstairs for the shoot. But do you remember me telling you how I went to Anateka Pinkiora?
Yeah.
So that recipe's in that cookbook. There's a little story about my little trip there. And that cookbook is... Yeah, it's a great book, and you're right, it's about stories.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the real guiding lights for me when I started getting to cookbooks. It was more than the recipe.
I still have that book, and I've got all these notes of things that I was going to cook from it, but I never got to, because I didn't feel confident enough or brave enough. This was a biblical piece. This was it was religious. And you still look at it now, and the blue has now got bits of marking and dirt, and it's been ripped all over the place. But yeah, that was a pretty significant. And your early memories took me back to that time of. It was great hope. There was.
It was that real time of. It was before internet, so a cookbook was a reference. It wasn't just a book that was on your shelf. And because you couldn't access a billion recipes on how to make a risotto. It was out of a cookbook that you may have on the shelf or you might find in a magazine. So cookbooks were very much part of the food culture back then, far more back then than what they are now. They're more a marketing piece now.
And I remember back then, at that time, Stefano Manfredi had just opened up on the Rocks.
Yes.
And he was in the papers. There were stories all over the place. His restaurants, his main courses, had just gone over the $30 mark, and it was a huge scandal.
Yeah.
And I worked at that little Tony Bambini cafe part-time while I was still at school.
Yeah.
And all the lawyers and the barristers were coming. We went to, can you believe he's charging $31 for XYZ? And it was just, I remember it was UN conversation stuff.
Look, I remember his restaurant in Ultimo back in the day, and that was a really special place. And when he moved to the Rocks, that was a really grand restaurant. It was massive.
And he had his mother making the pasta.
Yeah.
And she'd hang it over the rails.
Mother and his brother was there. It was a real family affair, and it was an incredible restaurant.
His sister was my mathematics teacher.
Really? Did you count gnocchis? Is that...